A lot of you have asked, so here it is, a kinky, coily, curly, wavy shop up of great budget products at the drugstore that really give results. So if you're a textured human being and want to know more, keep on watching. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig, and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. You've seen the splashy intro, yes, and the thumbnail. This is a curly, kinky, coily, wavy. I say that a lot in this video because I want to include everybody. It's very important to me. Shop up. Oh yes, that's exactly what this is. A lot of you have asked for this. And before we get straight into it, there is a whole playlist of shop up videos here on my channel as well. I will link that in the description. There's a shop up on pretty much everything. You really enjoy this series and I love making them because I'm a total formula nerd. But I just wanted to mention before we get into it, there is quite a lot of keyboard ninjery on the tinterweb when it comes to curly, kinky, coily, textured, wavy hair. And I just want us to remember as we watch the rest of this video that different products suit different people. There is no wrong or right. There is no wrong or right. I do get into that when we go to look at the fantastic products in the drugstore. But, I think sometimes people feel a bit bullied into doing this particular routine with their curly, wavy, kinky, coily, textured hair. And you really shouldn't do. So without further ado, that's enough of an intro, but I just wanted to say that because it does wind me up slightly that sometimes people say, no, you're doing the wrong thing. You're not doing the wrong thing. If you're doing what works for you, that's great. But now let's go shopping.
So we're back at Boots. Let's get into, just like that, let's get into what's good if you're a curly human being. I can already see some stuff that we need to look at. Let's start off with some sheer moisture. I don't know why, but this line does get a lot of grief online. A lot of people bash it. I think the products are really great. It was a black female-owned started company originally. It's not anymore. It is sold to one of the big conglomerates, but I can't remember which one it is. But just looking at this formula here, the Strengthen and Restore shampoo, put your teeth in, Craig. Let's start at the beginning, okay, with shampoos. Now, this is quite an interesting formula. What do we have in here? We have water, we've got lots of perfume. So this is heavily fragrant. So if you have any sensitivity to fragrance, then be wary. And then also it has peppermint essential oil, which people can also be very sensitive to. This is very oil based. There's castor seed oil in there. That's the color of it, I'm guessing. Then there's rice protein, there's other fruit oils here, wheat protein. Formulations like this that contain proteins, like wheat protein and rice protein, they won't over-proteinize the hair. That's a misnomer. It's a real, kind of myth. Then what else have we got? We've got some aloe leaf in here. We've got more oil, soybean oil. So this is, a product that would be great for curls, coils, kinky hair. How many times I'm going to say that throughout the video? If your hair is thicker in texture. This is apparently, it basically what it does is it removes build-up with making the hair strong at the same time. I'm not sure how much product build-up it would remove. If your hair it also has glycerin here for moisture. It does also have sodium chloride, which is salt. They use that as a thickener in shampoos, and it's not the most colour safe thing. But if you do have thicker textured hair that is curly, coily, wavy, textured, there I go again, then this would be a great one. $12.99. It's not a cheap price point, but it's not a super expensive. I think this line is very underrated. Bit of a marketing department's nightmare, me to put these Tresemme products on what is I think the Elvive stand, although it is above the Tresemme. Can we take a moment for the boots? So, very briefly. So, 3 Tresemme shampoos. Again, this gets so much flack from hair professionals, but the formulas are really good. I've just had a look at them. This beautiful strength, this is kind of the most basic formula here of all of these. We've got in the back here, it's quite a small ingredient. There's citric acid, which is great for adding strength to the hair. This also has, interestingly, this polyquaterninium 10. That's a strength adding ingredient as well, and it adds manageability to the hair, makes it very slippy. Arginine, which is an amino acid. But it is a very simple formula, obviously very chemically based. can I just add at this point as well that it is a complete misnomer that curly hair only needs moisture. That is not true. It depends on the type and the texture and the density of the hair. Kinky, curly, coily hair, it needs what it needs. Everyone's hair is different. Then we have this keratin smooth, but it doesn't need just moisture. And modern formulas are balanced, so they contain both moisture and protein often. This keratin smooth is a very heavily dimethicone based product. So if you have very textured, wavy, curly hair, etc., that would be a good smoothing one. But this lamella shine one, the ultra gloss salon finish, is the one that I actually like the formulation of the most. It does have sodium. No, where are we? It's got glycerin in here, lots of perfume, that's very high on the ingredients list. It has lots of dimethicone type ingredients to make the hair very slippy, citric acid, sodium lauryl sulfate, remember that's not the devil, it's a great cleansing ingredient. It's got coconut arginine in it as well, it has some seed oils, so I would suspect that that is the most kind of glossing, I haven't used it, is the most glossing, silkening, shine, obviously that's what it's for, that's what it's formulated for, but if you have very heavily textured curly hair, that would be great. Uh-oh, he's back in the Pantene or Pantene aisle again. Now, again, to reiterate, curly, wavy, textured hair often needs both protein and moisture. And this bond repair, now that's, you know, slightly dubious bond repair. I don't think it's really going to repair any bonds, but this shampoo, which has got like a £6.60 price point, if your hair is finer and it's wavy or textured or kinky or coily, stop saying that, Craig, this product, you know, this shampoo is going to be great for finer textured hair, and it's going to help to add some kind of minimal strength, but also with ingredients, where is it? It's gone now. There we have something that's dimethicone based, which is going to give the hair slip. Another dimethicone ingredient there. Then we have panthenol, which makes the hair feel really great. Citric acid for strength. Lots and lots of fragrance in this. I'm surprised at how much fragrance actually. But then this also has that polyquaternium 6, which is like the 10, except this one, it's more of a slippery ingredient. So if you've got longer wavy hair that's finer in texture and you want to protect it, you don't want to break it, which is what most of these products do. They give the hair slipperiness rather than actually making it strong. Most of these, you know, it says 100% regenerated hair, instrumental tests on the hair, cuticle damage versus undamaged hair. So, you know, a lot of the claims are not really substantiated for them actually being bonding, but this would be a great product, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. So here's a line that a lot of you might know. It's now sold here in Boots, Cantu. Now this is a line that's specifically for textured curly coily hair, and they have, interestingly, I've just been looking at this, shea butter sulfate-free cleansing cream shampoo. So for natural curls, coils and waves, gently removes heavy build-up. Now, this is free of all of the things that marketing people would like you to think are bad. But, you know, that's just a marketing thing. I keep going on about that, but it does, you know, kind of wind me up, clearly. Now, if you've got finer textured hair that, you know, that is curly, this would be great because it's got glycerin in it, so that's great for moisture. It does actually have acrylate copolymers, which basically make the hair feel thicker. So even though, and it's also got some shea butters in here, panthenol as well, vitamin B5, which is great to make the hair feel thicker. Interesting that this is like a, you know, a build-up removing shampoo, cleansing cream shampoo, but it actually would make your, as far as I can tell from the formula, would make your hair feel slightly thicker. So it's definitely one to look out for if you do have finer textured hair. Moving on, let's talk about treatments and conditioners. Back at Sheer Moisture, I'm darting all over the store here to the bits of the store that are not busy. Now this, it goes with the shampoo that we talked about earlier on. This is the Strengthen and Restore Treatment Mask. Shea butter, peppermint and apple cider vinegar. Peppermint is something that people can be sensitive to, so that's definitely worth, you know, taking into consideration. I just want to point out on the back, if you look here, the second ingredient here is a form of alcohol. That is not a bad ingredient. That is an ingredient in this formula that is helping everything else do what it has to do. It's not going to make the hair dry. It's a carrier for all the other ingredients. So we've got lots of butters in here, mango butter, avocado oil. That peppermint leaf extract is quite a heavy thing to hold on to with one hand. The peppermint extract is quite high on the ingredients list, probably to make the scalp a bit tingly. Niacinamide in here, which is an interesting ingredient. That's a B vitamin, but it's an antioxidant. Aloe leaf juice. It's a big ingredients list, but this would make the hair very slippery, be very moisturizing, as well as having some strength ingredients too. So if your hair is on the thicker textured side, then that wouldn't be a bad treatment to use. Let me just see what they are saying. Where are the directions? Here we go. 10 to 15, oh, focus, 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe left on hair for 30 minutes without heat. Rinse thoroughly. So yeah, Jamaican black castor oil strengthen and restore treatment mask. Yeah, it's definitely a good one to look out for. No pricing, oh, $12.99. Now, yes, undoubtedly we're going to be talking about L'Oreal because we're in the drugstore and L'Oreal has a vice-like grip on the drugstore. I talked about this recently, this Dream Length Saviour Mask, in my best of drugstore video, which I will link in the description box. That was out on New Year's Eve, woohoo! But this line is great. The R&D on it is absolutely incredible, the research and development, but they also have within the line the Dream Lengths Non-Stop Dreamy Curls Leave-In Cream. Now, this is like the ultimate in slippery hair product. It's the writing is incredibly small. We've got natural butters in here. We have, let's have a look. Let me see if I can. The writing is so tiny, and there we go. Amidamethicone is right down here. But this is something that makes the hair feel very silky. The texture of it, from shaking the bottle, it's very, very thick. So it'd be better for thicker textured hair as a leave-in conditioner. But you know, the formulation, it's about as modern as they can get because the ingredients list is, you know, in my opinion, is very, very cool. We've got glycerin, we've got copolymers, so that's going to help to keep the curls together. Copolymers are really great if you find your curls go frizzy or they don't get very separated, then copolymers are fantastic. But yeah, I just think this line is fantastic. I've said that so many times. Fantastic, I'll say it again. Almost tempted to get some of that to try it on clients in salon. Yes, a little bit more sheer moisture. Now, it's worth mentioning with curly hair that often, especially finer textured curly hair, sometimes leave-in conditioner is better, and obviously you can layer products up. You can use any product that you want layered on top of something else if it works for you, okay? I'm not here to tell you what you must and mustn't do. I know that it can get a little bit keyboardy ninja-y, bit keyboard warrior with the curly hair community. But this formula, this has sugar in it, sugarcane extract, which is great for finer textured hair because it makes the hair feel thicker. Miracle Styler is a bit of a push, to be honest, and I'm not sure it's a miracle. But the ingredients in here, again, like the rest of the sheer moisture, it does have polyquantenium 7, so that's a slippery inducing ingredient that makes the cuticle very smooth. But it has lots of natural ingredients. Does it have fragrance in here? It's got green tea in here. Yeah, it's got orange peel extract, which is a citrus extract, obviously, which people can be allergic to. But this has a very light spray texture. And if your hair is finer, then this might be great for you. But it's the sugar that's interesting because that does make hair feel physically slightly denser. So here's a line that a lot of you mention in the comments. I use this Queen for a Day. It's like a session stylist's secret weapon for getting volume and getting style memory. If you've got finer textured hair that you blow dry out smooth, this is absolutely incredible. It's so amazing. Everyone has it in their kit. But I've just seen this Curls Rock Amplifier. Now this is their Mega Shaping Cream. Quite a fierce ingredients list, and again there is fragrance really high up the list with all of these products. I did recently buy a dry shampoo from them that I can't use. It's not that one. I can't remember which one it was, but oh, there it is. That one, I actually gave it away because it's so heavily fragranced. It actually gives me a headache when I use it, so I gave that to a friend. But you know, I keep talking about this polyquantenium polyquaternium. This is polyquaternium 37, okay? That's an anti-static agent that also creates a film on the hair, a semi-permanent temporary film. So if you want your curls to be very separated, this would be really good, this Curls Rock Amplifier. We've also got glycerin in there, I saw earlier on. We've got quite a big ingredients list, and it is like there's no natural extracts in here really. Lots of copolymers to really make the hair very separated. So that is a good one if you want like proper defined curls. You could use less of it if your hair is finer in texture. You don't want them to be too fiercely defined. But then also, I haven't seen this before. Now this is the, and I think it must be a new product. It looks so great in the packaging. Control Freak. Now this, it says for straightening. It's a straightening serum, frizz control. But this is a heavily dimethicone based, very hard to see the ingredients list, you have to take my word for it. Heavily dimethicone based, there's lots of different slippery ingredients in this. Silica, mica, so it's quite shiny, quite glistening as well on the hair. If you wanted to just smooth the surface of the hair and your hair is kinky, curly, coily textured, then that would be great. But you would obviously just use less of it. And you can see it's pretty seriously thick. But yeah, interesting. And I think that is new. Let me know in the comments if you've not seen it before. If you've tried it, I would love to know. Super briefly, whilst we're here, VO5 Coconut Scented Hot Oil. These have been around forever, these oil treatments. Any oil, listen up, any oil will only penetrate the cuticle of the hair. This oil is not of a molecular weight that it won't penetrate the hair at all. It just sits on the surface and makes it smooth. But oils like avocado argan oil, they will go under the cuticle, but they do not get under the cortex, into the cortex of the hair. It's impossible for them to, and they don't really add any strength benefit. They're just a smoothing thing. Use them if you want, but they're not a miracle oils because the molecular weight is too big. Very serious, but needed to be said. So I know that a lot of curly human beings love an oil, and we've talked about it briefly, but just to mention, this is quite interesting. This OGX, I think they actually asked me to do something for them a while ago and I've said no, but anyway, oh, you can see me, hello. Argan oil of Morocco, extra penetrating oil, dry or coarse hair. Now, as long as you take these on face value that they're just going to make your hair slippery and smooth and shiny, then that's completely fine. But very interestingly, and like I just said, extra penetrating oil, the first ingredient in this is dimethicone. The second ingredient is something that is also slippery. Then there's another dimethicone variant there as well. And then there's the argan oil, okay? Argan oil has a very low molecular weight, so the molecules are very small, which means that it can penetrate the hair. If you stick it in a dimethicone base, which is what this is, it will not penetrate the hair. So this is not extra penetrating, it just makes the hair very slippery, and that is science. If you want to use it because you love the texture and you love it makes your hair shiny and it helps to define your curls, waves, coils, go for it. But it's not penetrating the hair. Sorry, OGX. Whoops. So I was going to talk about the Elnet Curls Mousse that goes here, but obviously it's very popular because it's sold out. We'll save that for another video. But have you heard of Wella? Do you know of Wella? Wella is an iconic colour house. They make brilliant permanent hair colour. They make Colour Touch that I use in salon. They also own Clairol, which make nice and easy. They're one of the biggest colour houses in the world. But they do have a minimal styling line here in Boots, which you might find in your drugstore / chemist. Now this is called Supreme Definition and would be really good. It's an oil infused gel cream, so it contains oils but it has a light texture. This might be quite good as either a product to go into damp hair if you're kinky, curly, coily, or if as a finishing product. Quite a simple ingredients list. We've got glycerin very high up there. We have that alcohol again, but that's as a carrier to get the other ingredients into the hair. Hydrogenated starch, that's interesting. That's actually a thickener. Dimethicone, which makes the hair smooth and silky. We know that. Castor oil. So we've got other seed oils, avocado oil, which again is great for smoothing, but it doesn't really add any strength to the hair. It's more of a smoothing product. So something that comes in a really small container, which is probably very concentrated, extra strong, hold up to 3 days, but really good to add definition. Keratin Protect. What keratin does it have in there? I'm looking for it. It's got copolymers in there, so it doesn't actually, lots and lots of perfume as well. Doesn't say what form of keratin is in there, but yeah, if you wanted something that was a finisher or you could apply to damp hair to give you some kind of separation, that would be good. So that's it, we're done for our look at what is in the drugstore / chemist for kinky, curly, coily hair. I said it again. Let's go back to mine for a quick roundup, a quick summary of what we've seen.
So lots of great products at great prices for all different hair densities and textures if you are kinky, curly, coily, wavy. Yes, I got them all in. Just to reiterate again, if you have something that you really love, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for everybody. And I would take a lot of the routines that you see online with a bit of a pinch of salt. You know, things like people saying that silicones are really bad for curly hair or wavy hair, and saying that sulfate-based shampoos are really bad if you've got wavy hair. A lot of that is just hearsay. So take it all with a pinch of salt and don't believe everything you hear. It's about what works for you. And that's what my channel is all about. Helping you, whether you're a consumer at home or a hair professional, have the best hair that you can have, regardless of how much money you have to spend. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, you know exactly what to do. You sharing this with a friend, liking it, leaving a comment. Great to have your comments. Really does push my content out there. And this channel, my channel, is all about community. It's all about you and me making content that will help you. So a huge thanks for watching this. And what other shop ups would you, before I go, what other shop ups would you like to see in this series? Let me know in the comments. You all take lots of care, and I'll see you all in the next one.